The air along the Carolina coast is heavy, not just with moisture, but with smell. Salt from the sea mixes with rot from the marshes. Pluff mud, exposed at low tide, releases a thick sulphurous breath that clings to the skin. This is Charlestown in the year 1700, a city still young, still fragile, and already dangerous. From the water, the settlement appears small, a tight cluster of wooden roofs pressed together on a narrow peninsula, surrounded by forest and swamp. Smoke rises constantly, from cooking fires, from boiling pitch, from hearths that never truly go cold. The city does not sleep easily here. Map to reality. Before Charlestown was streets and walls, it was lines on parchment. Surveyors traced its shape carefully, a rectangle clinging to the Cooper River, bounded by water on 3 sides and wilderness on the 4th. On maps, the city looks orderly, measured, controlled. But maps do not capture heat. They do not capture mud. They do not capture disease. As ink lines fade, reality takes their place. Dirt paths replace drawn streets. Walls rise where boundaries once existed only on paper. Charlestown becomes real. The ground beneath your feet. There is no pavement here, no stone road to absorb the rain. The ground is a mixture of sand, crushed oyster shells, and deep mud. Each step crunches or sinks. Wagon wheels carve ruts that fill with stagnant water. Feet churn the surface into a thick, clinging paste. The city smells of effort, of labor, of things trying to stay upright in an unforgiving climate. Walls line the perimeter, timber palisades reinforced with earth. They rise 15 feet high, sharp at the top. Protection is never optional here. The maritime engine. Along the Cooper River, the city becomes loud. Mallets strike wood in steady rhythm. Ropes creak, iron rings clatter. The docks are the engine of Charlestown. Ships crowd the shoreline, brigantines and sloops riding low in the water. Their masts form a forest of timber against the sky. Cargo moves constantly. Deerskins, tar and pitch, rice packed into coarse burlap sacks. Everything smells of salt, wood, and sweat. This city survives because ships arrive and because ships leave. Wealth and its cost. Not all cargo is silent. Chains scrape against wood. Iron rings clink. Men are led from ships onto muddy planks, exhausted, disoriented. This trade is brutal, and it is central. Wealth flows directly from suffering. Charlestown grows rich by exporting rice and skins and by importing human labor. The docks do not hide this reality. They display it openly. Defense and fear. Beyond the walls dominate everything. The Granville Bastion rises, heavy and solid, built of brick and timber. Cannons stare outward, not inward. Men patrol constantly, eyes scanning the horizon, watching for Spanish sails, listening for rumors. Fear is a permanent resident here. The city is small, escape routes are limited. If Charlestown falls, it falls completely. A city that grows up, not out. Space inside the walls is precious. Buildings press close together. Some rise higher than intended, built upward because outward expansion is impossible. Streets narrow, Shadows deepen. Air barely moves between the structures. Heat gathers, moisture lingers. The city becomes a container holding people, smells, and sickness. The single house. Architecture adapts. Houses grow long and narrow. Gable ends face the street. Windows open on both sides to catch the sea breeze. It is survival through design. Inside, rooms remain dark. Furniture is sparse. Nothing exists for comfort alone. The four corners. At Broad and Church Streets, authority concentrates. The courthouse, the church, the symbols of order. Men gather here, lawyers, magistrates, officials. Punishment is public. Stocks stand nearby, reminding everyone that control is enforced visibly. The city survives by discipline as much as by trade. The French Quarter. In quieter lanes, the sound of the city changes. Here, houses are smaller, closer together. European influence shapes the layout. Courtyards hide behind walls. Gardens struggle in sandy soil. Life here is quieter, but not easier. The air is still heavy, the insects relentless. The invisible threat. Death does not always arrive with violence. Sometimes it arrives quietly. Water pools near foundations. Mosquitoes rise in clouds. The illness they carry has a name whispered with fear. Yellowjack. Doors hang with black cloth. Streets empty. In dim rooms, men lie sweating, delirious. Doctors carry bags filled with leeches and mercury. Their treatments are desperate. The city does not understand disease, only its consequences. The Graveyard City. Graves sit close to the living. Graves are shallow, markers lean. The soil is damp. Death moves quickly here, especially in summer. The city learns to live fast. Tomorrow is never promised. The Western Gate. At the edge of the walls stands the Western Gate. Beyond it lies something worse than disease, the wilderness. Dense forest stretches endlessly. Live oaks drip with moss. The broad path disappears into shadow. This gate marks the boundary between order and uncertainty, between city and unknown. The Indian Trade. Pack trains assemble near the gate. Horses shift under loads of deerskins and trade goods. Men prepare for long journeys inland. Indigenous guides wait calmly near the tree line. This trade sustains the colony. It also binds cultures together, uneasily. Mutual need replaces trust. Leaving the city. As the pack train moves out, Charlestown recedes. Walls shrink behind them. Smoke fades. The forest closes in. The city survives by sending men outward and drawing wealth back in. Evening in Charlestown. As daylight fades, the city quiets. Shutters close. Doors are barred. Smoke drifts low. Along the river, water reflects fading light. Ships rest. For a few hours, the city breathes. The isolated fortress. From above, Charlestown appears small, a fragile island of light surrounded by darkness. Wilderness presses from every side. Disease waits in the heat. Enemies wait beyond the horizon. Yet the city endures. Closing. The living past. Charlestown in 1700 is not a place of comfort. It is a place of endurance. Built on mud, surrounded by fear, sustained by trade and discipline. Every wall, every street, every design choice reflects survival. This is Charlestown, as it truly was.